Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. No, it's not a much-needed return of Parappa the Rapper. It is the iron-fisted royalty that is Tekken 8, which is about to kick the shins off the competition come January the 26th, 2024. So what better time than now than to pummel that hype train square in the jaw with essential details that you bloody well need to know about. With this in mind, I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are 7 things you need to know about Tekken 8. Number 7. Guest characters won't be the focus yet. Now, as we all know, thanks to the DLC characters, Tekken 7 was awash with faces old, new, and in some cases were mugs from completely different franchises, which of course became a huge focus of the fanbase. Watching Jin get beamed in the head by Negan was a surreal sight to say the least, but it did open the Pandora's box of potential dream matches down the line. However, you might want to uncross those crossover fingers for now, as in a roundtable with Gaming Bible, Harada-san went on record to state that we're not creating the game with guest characters in mind. We're focusing on our old characters and the starting lineup, and that maybe that's something that we'll add later on, but right now it's not something we're considering. So if you're expecting to see the Doomslayer pounding Steve Fox into a bloody paste, you might be waiting a while. Number 6. The heat system is hot stuff. Whereas most other tenured franchises would be happy to sit back and coast themselves into oblivion, the team over at Tekken 8 are making big changes to the formula, and the crystallized outcome of their efforts is the outrageously fun heat system. This new mechanic is built around rewarding the player for launching an all-out offensive attack on their opponent, and by entering this state, they can close gaps in an instant, dish out devastating moves, and even access brand new combo chains, which is like waving a charcuterie board in front of a rabid dog when it comes to the hardcore Tekken crowd. And it's these stalwart players that have been getting hands on and throwing them hard with the closed network tests that the devs have been rolling out over the last few months. And let me tell you something, pal, some of the combos that I've seen that incorporate the heat system, well, they're utterly jaw-dropping, especially those that manipulate the 10 seconds of offensive power that activating the heat system gets you into going way longer. But you know what? The heat system isn't the only thing getting players hot under the collar, because, number 5, the frame rate for Tekken 8 can dip hard. And while most of the world has been enjoying the spectacle and rocking opponents' skulls online thanks to the CNTs, it turns out that not all players are having such a smooth experience. Such woes were highlighted by well-respected fighting game streamer Maximilian Dude on his Twitch channel. Here Max detailed how, when playing the recent CNT, he was hit with the game dipping to 40 frames per second despite hardware and game information reporting that it was running at 60. This resulted in dropped frames for both players, and as a result, combo chains were interrupted or ended despite the correct inputs being used. Max also highlighted that playing against Wi-Fi opponents would result, in his own words, in 8 to 10 frames of input delay, which, as you can imagine, would be a nightmare to go up against, especially when in Max's own estimations that around half the players online use Wi-Fi. Obviously, the game is still technically in beta, so has a chance to remedy these issues, but with January fast approaching, these fixes better come quickly, or the fanbase will most definitely have something to say about it. Number 4. Simplified Controls level the playing field. One of the most frustrating things about being a fighting game fan with as much talent as I do hair is the fact that while I absolutely adore throwing ham bones all over the place, getting wrecked over and over by friends who are better at the game than me is quite a draining experience, as it must be for them when I refuse to give up and give them win after win after win. No, I won't quit. Therefore, the addition of a simplified control system, while contentious to some high-tier players, is a brilliant addition for those wishing to get into the fray and still be able to hold their own. By auto-mapping some more difficult combos, this new control scheme allows for visually engaging and surprisingly competitive play for newcomers and those without the muscle memory to master a million inputs. After testing it out myself, I found that while I would still definitely get my butt kicked by a skilled player who knew their character like the back of their hand, being able to land a few punches in return made the experience far more engaging, and as a result, I wanted to play more rather than bounce back to the offline modes to punish the AI for my own failings. It might not be for everyone, but as a concept, it most definitely is designed to be. Number 3. The customization is crazy. Thanks to some very recent footage that dropped concerning the new Tekken Arcade Quest feature, we can draw some very definitive conclusions about the experience, those being that, oh my god, the little avatars are the cutest, and secondly, I'm sorry, how much customization are we offering here? Well, the answer to the latter question seems to be yes by the developers, because nearly every aspect outside of your fighter's blood type can be altered to suit your deranged whims. From decking out King in new luchador-inspired costumes to turning Brian into a palette-swapped version of Final Fight's Cody if he were a delivery driver, there are so many options available that you can expect that going online will be an utterly bizarre experience from the jump. Also, bets on how many blatant IP ripoffs there will be on day one. 100? 200? Likely more if we're honest. Number 2. Tekken BALL is back, baby! Now, the Tekken Lounge is an online lobby designed to allow players from around the world to chill out, compare fight cards, and then scrap it out. But it also allows gamers to access a slew of other features and twists on the original fighting formula. And one of those recently revealed is a fan favourite for the ages, Tekken Bloody Ball. Even saying the name causes me to break out in a mile-wide grin, as this, alongside Tekken Bowling, is one of the most enjoyable minigames ever, and to see it finally return here really is a glorious moment. So you better bring the sunscreen, because there is truly no better way to burn your mates than by blasting a beach ball right in their chops. And number 1, Heihachi ain't coming back. To say that Tekken 7 ended with a bit of a bombshell is kind of like saying that waking up to find your feet missing would be rather alarming, aka quite the understatement. At the end of the climactic battle with his baby boy in Tekken 7, Heihachi was reduced to a boo-hoo baby himself thanks to a supremely potent punch to the chest. Now, as Tekken fans will attest to, death is barely an inconvenience to mainstay characters, who shrug off being thrown into volcanoes and off cliffs like they were mere high school pranks. However, here in Tekken 8, we are told at every single instance that Heihachi is deader than a doornail. And you know what? It's kind of easy to be skeptical. Well, that is right up until you remember that in an article on Gaming Bible that dropped earlier this year, Harada-san expressed surprise himself that the team had actually gone off and properly killed one of his favourite characters. To which the developers themselves responded by saying, "That's exactly what you told us to do," and then ended with Michael Murray stating, "Well, that was the order you gave us, so what do you mean you're surprised?" So there we have it. Don't expect to see Heihachi coming back anytime soon. And there we go, my friends. Those were 7 things you need to know about Tekken 8. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. And why not subscribe to the FGS YouTube channel to stay updated on all the upcoming games, as well as getting to enjoy, and I use that in heavy air quotation marks, my weekly Friday slots where I do deep dives on subjects that are pretty strange to say the least. But if you want to chat to me on the social medias, you can do so by going over to @RetroJ for both X and Instagram, but the O is a 0. I know, I don't know why, just the folly of youth, let's just call it that. So I hope to see you over there as well. But before I go, hope you're treating yourself well with love and respect, my friend, because you deserve the bloody best, and do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise. I want you to take that positivity, ball it up into a fist, and knock the block of anyone who's standing in your way. As always, I've been Jules, you have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.